Hey guys, you know what we want to do is just try to help you out just a little bit, and Randy is gonna help us with this. But as you're thinking about getting ready for fishing season, we're coming maybe to the end of January now, so we're getting close, and people are catching fish right now, as a matter of fact. Anyways, but we're going to give you 7 lures that we think are just 7 lures you can't really be without in this next fishing season. And so our number one choice, if you saw on Sunday, Randy, tell us about it.
The Whopper Plopper. That was the hot one for 16 anyways.
Yeah.
And it's already started in 17. They're still looking for it.
So when are people throwing this bait? Are they waiting till the spring, summer, fall, or are they throwing it even now?
They're throwing it some now, not as much. This time of year, the water's colder. You got to fish it slow.
Yeah.
There is some guys that fish a lot of topwater this time of year, but for the most part, it'll be spring through fall.
Yeah. And I've always thought that a topwater, and I may be wrong about this, and you can correct me, I've always thought topwater baits in the summertime really best, real early in the morning and late in the evening, low light conditions.
I've caught some really, really good fish in the middle of the day on topwater.
So don't listen to me, listen to Randy, right? You're going to catch them throughout the day.
You're probably going to catch more and have more bites, more fun early in the morning, late in the evening.
Yeah.
But if you love to fish topwater, you can fish it all day.
Yeah, that's good. So go ahead and give me, now you've got your next 3, your top 3 lures, and I've got my top 3. So let me see what's number 1 in your box here.
I'm a big fan of a spinnerbait.
Yeah.
They're very versatile baits. I like in the daytime, I like a double willow blade. Hoppy makes one here locally that has little bigger blades, so it's a bigger profile, moves more water. Booyah is one of my favorites to take up north, the smallmouth fishing up there. It's a smaller blades, a little smaller profile. Both of them has the flash. You can reel them fast, you can reel them slow. They're really versatile baits. Fun
But on
fish.
Percy Priest, it's Hoppy's bait. Since he's there at Fate Sanders, the fish there know.
You can't hardly beat that on Priest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and he builds a really good one for nighttime. I just didn't bring it, but the single blade for at nighttime.
Yeah.
That's all I use here. Is
Yeah.
daytime and nighttime is his blades here.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna give you my number 1. Here it is, especially really in the spring, and to be honest, I like to fish. We're at different stages probably in our fishing career. I'm sure you want to go out and catch a big one.
I want to catch a fish.
Yeah, me too. I want something pulling on the end of my line,
Yeah.
and I would say for me, in the spring at Percy Priest, closest lake to us, if you're not throwing a Shad Rap, I think you're missing the boat. I use a number 5 Shad Rap in the spring, and I probably throw it 90% of the time that I'm fishing.
That's an all year bait too. I mean, it's that good down here, and
Yeah.
you got probably the best selling color we have.
Yeah, I love this bait, and I have caught on this number 5 the biggest bass I've caught in my life. I caught it on that.
Right.
In February on Priest. So that's a good bait.
Unlike the Whopper Plopper, it has little bitty trebles.
That's right, it does.
You can lose a lot of fish on that one.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. And I tell people in the spring on Priest, just get out, fish shallow, bang those rocks. I like this one with this particular one it's a shallow runner, obviously, and so it's got that lip that's just got that little kind of U in it a little bit.
Yep.
And so that helps a little bit. I throw that thing in there as shallow as can be, got my rod tip up, trying to bring it out, and then as it gets a little deeper, bring it down. Give us number 2 for you.
I'm gonna have to go with a football head jig. A jig, you can buy just like packs of heads, and you can buy different color skirts and then put them on there.
Yeah.
You can flip a jig in shallow cover. You can fish it deep. You can swim a jig. You can't really fish it on top. It's a weighted thing, but
Yeah.
it's a very versatile, pretty inexpensive way to fish. I mean, you buy a pack of heads for a little or nothing, and then a few skirts, and you've got like 6 different jigs going on. You know.
And Hoppy makes those too. We're talking about Hoppy's lures. This is John Hopkins, who owns Fate Sanders Marine at Percy Priest. He's a friend of ours. Has been making lures really all of his life. And I fished with him actually last spring on Priest, and he flipped a jig the whole time, and I threw my Shad Rap the whole time.
Right.
And he caught a lot of big fish.
He's pretty well a machine with a jig.
Yeah.
You don't want to go behind him.
No, that's the problem. He didn't have me in the best water.
Right. You don't want to go behind him.
Yeah, that's a great way to fish. For me, number 2, if you go fishing with me, if I've got 5 or 6 rods laid out, it doesn't matter what time of year. I've always got a Strike King Red Eye Shad tied on. Now in the spring, I like this orange color. for me. I don't know. You may agree, disagree with that.
It's a good color down here.
As it gets on in warmer in the summer, and I'll go to just a more natural looking bait, a shad color bait. But that red eye shad, I'm not a great fisherman. I love to fish. I can just get bites on that just about any time during the year. And again, it's kind of idiot proof. You can't really fish it wrong. You can fish it fast, you can fish it slow, but it's a good bait, isn't it?
Yes, it's versatile too as far as reeling it fast or slow. You can drag it. There's a lot of different ways of fishing the rattle trap, but the red eye shad, that type of rattle bait, they're versatile and they catch a lot of fish.
Yeah, a lot of people use a rattle trap, just interchangeable, and those are great baits. Caught a lot of fish on that. Give me your next one. What do you have next?
Apparently, great minds think alike on color schemes.
Yeah.
I got the red crawfish color for the early in the year. It's a shallow running crankbait. This is a dive 2 6-foot.
Yeah.
As the season goes on, I'll get a deeper one. This and here's a 14, but you can go up to like a 20-foot deep diver. But I did like you. I went from the red spring color to more of a natural shad looking color later in the year.
Is that because early in the year, I guess early in the spring, we're talking late February, early March into April, these fish are locked in more on crawfish?
Crawfish are getting more active as the water warms up. They're there all the time, but they get more active. They move around.
Yeah.
And you kind of got, you can change your colors by the crawfish colors. If you see crawfish, change your colors to them.
Yeah.
But Priest, Thames, Center Hill, a lot of these local lakes, wintertime and springtime, love red.
Yeah.
Priest at nighttime, on a big worm or a spinnerbait or something, like a red or a purple at nighttime.
Yeah.
So Priest is a red lake. It's right here in the backyard. It likes that color.
Yeah.
Then you go more natural later on.
If I had to say this, and this is more for my dad who fishes a whole lot. Zoom makes great soft plastics. Zoom makes a speed worm, ultra vibe speed worm, and I love this bait. And I fish this bait all summer long, spring and the fall. I've caught fish here on Percy Priest on it a lot. We were in a lake out in California. I was at a conference out there, and we were on a lake. So you know me, I had to go down and buy a rod at Walmart, and I just happened, because I had my bag and it had a pack of these in the bottom somewhere in my bag. So I went and got a worm hook, and I walked out on the side of this little lake, and a guy came out to me and said, "Well, there's no fish in this lake." I said, "Well, I'm just going to cast a little bit." I threw this speed worm, and as he's walking off, I felt one hit it, and I set the hook. It was over a 5-pounder. It was great. It was great. That was a shining moment for me. This is a good bait. Now, let me tell you something about what I've learned about this bait. I fish it Texas style, just with an 1/8 ounce bullet weight on it, and it almost fishes a little bit like a spinnerbait. I throw the thing up, and you don't fish it Texas like you'd fish just a normal worm, and just lifting it up and dropping it. I throw that thing in around cover. You fish it weedless and just bring it over cover, and it's a good bait. You can fish it fast, you can fish it slow. Sometimes just right now, just dropping it, letting it soak, cast it, letting it sit. But here's what I've learned about this bait, because I fished behind the master of this bait. My dad fishes this bait. He probably buys more of these than anybody here in the store. But when a fish hits this bait, for me, you especially right now, you have to stop and let that thing take it a little bit, which is hard for me. I always learned they didn't have hands. If you felt it, set the hook. But you miss a lot of fish. Let them take this bait just a little bit. But again, it's a fun bait to fish. You're not going to get hung up a lot. You're going to get a lot of bites. Maybe not a big fish bait, I wouldn't necessarily say.
It catches a lot of good fish.
But it is a fun bait to fish. I guarantee you get these baits in your tackle box, and you're going to have a good year this next year. Come by and see Randy. One of the things I love about his store is they've got great stuff, but they'll also talk to you and help you. Because I think, and I know you're a believer, I think you understand too, this is a great thing for folks just to get out and enjoy themselves, enjoy God's creation.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you enjoy God's creation a little bit more when you're catching some fish, don't you?
That helps.
There's no question about that. Guys, I hope you have a great fishing season. God bless you.